Hey, what's up guys? Tugi here, back again with some more NHL 18 news. I am a bit late to the party as this was posted on June 21st, but I still need to talk about it because there's a major piece of information. Aside from the initial trailer and features list reveal, this is perhaps the most anticipated article regarding the next game. It is Game Informer's yearly 60 things we know about, and of course this time it covers NHL 18. I was scrolling through this, and there was one piece of information that made it worth making a video over to begin with, or just by itself. EA is finally stretching out the player ratings so that every player isn't rated between 80 and above in the NHL. This year, the dev team stretched the ratings so that they now range between 94 and 75 for most teams. When a player comes out of the draft with a 76 rating, they are now truly NHL ready. I cannot begin to properly explain to you my excitement and pure joy for this. I have been begging for this change for years. Aside from just the fact that it's the right way to go, it's going to save me so much time. I don't have to edit anything anymore for the most part. I might still change a couple of overalls and potentials, but every year since since at least NHL 2003, maybe even 2004 at the latest, going through the rosters, making sure they're as accurate as possible, editing overalls, editing potentials every goddamn year. And now all I'm going to have to do with the launch of NHL 18 is just, change people around to make sure that they're on the proper rosters. And that's nothing. Thankfully, I don't have to go through and edit most of the players in the database. Again, it's worth making this video alone just for this point. I am so goddamn happy. I cannot believe this is finally a real thing. Now, it does say for most teams between a 94 and a 75, so I'm thinking maybe we might still see Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid at a 95, or it'll be on the opposite end of the spectrum, and you might have some players that are AHL caliber who are on an NHL team, like on the fourth line or something like that. But man, I mean, we knew draft changes were coming, and they said that they wanted to make sure that more top 10 players were NHL ready right off the bat, and of course that goes hand in hand with the 76 rating or above. Guys, this is massive. like towards the end of NHL 17 here, I've been thinking to myself, like, what can I do to really be excited for franchise mode, to put unique spins on it? Just in general, though, now, I'm excited for franchise mode on NHL 18. I cannot wait. Whether or not I have to put a spin on a series or not, I don't care. I just want to get my hands on the mode because it's going to be so much better right from the start. I cannot wait. The rest of the gameplay options, for the most part, I will leave the link to this article in the description. The rest of it mainly talks about the new deeks, the new defensive skill stick and stuff like that, the AI improvements, and like I mentioned in the breakdown videos, this is all extremely promising, but we have to wait and see. I used the term cautious optimism, and that still applies. It all sounds great, but there needs to be that proper tuning, there needs to be that proper balance and implementation. It all sounds great, but EA, at this point, I mean, I'm gonna buy the game anyway, but at this point, you need to prove it. You need to prove it to me. You need to prove it to me that these changes you are promising are actually a thing, and are actually major changes that affect the gameplay as it should. Because so many times now, we have seen certain things added to the game where it isn't or wasn't what it should have been. I mean, you could say that about the tie-ups, the net front tie-ups. Years ago, it was eventually removed and brought back, and I do feel like it's at a good point this time out. But you get what I mean. I'm excited, but you still need to prove it to me. You still need to prove that what you're saying here, actions speak louder than words, and that's the best way I can sum it up. I do want to mention, though, here at the bottom, it does mention the injury system, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in a franchise mode or a Be a Pro. It also mentions that they're changing the frequency of goal review sequences. basically, for me, my only issue with goal reviews is I'm alright with the frequency of the actual goal reviews, but the review sequence itself, the cutscenes, just remove them. I know it adds to the game, but really all you need to do is show the referee waving it off, maybe show one replay that's skippable if someone on both sides hits the A button or the X button on PlayStation, and you're good to go. That's all you need to do. I should mention, though, was that the last thing? Yes, it was. Oh, well, yeah, that was this one. I mean, come on. We have 60 things. Does this need to be one of them, that they weren't going to add offside reviews? Obviously they weren't. They can't get it right in the real NHL. Oh, well, that means that EA should totally add it because they can't get things right either, said most of the people in the comments. Anyway, scrolling through the rest of this, you have some notes on presentation, new camera angles, that's fine. NHL 3s, of course, we had a lot of information about already, the online mode, the offline mode. It all sounds great. I mean, particularly for the offline mode. When you play the circuit, you take control of a team called the Refrigerators. Now, it would be nice if you had different options to name your team, but if they don't have it that way, I guess I understand. But it is really cool that you can earn NHL players by playing their, say, junior team from the past. That's pretty cool. And I gotta admit, at first I mentioned too in the breakdown videos, I wasn't sure how excited I was for this mode. I think the campaign's gonna be a lot of fun. And that could be a pretty damn fun series for the start of NHL 18. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, though. Franchise mode. Franchise mode. Now, this bit of information here, like I said, I was a bit late to the party. I included this piece of information in the feature list breakdown, but I didn't know at the time that it was from this article. So I've already gone over all of that information. But again, it all sounds extremely promising. EASHL, they really, they're not going to be doing a whole hell of a lot. You can tell by the size and the size of this little, article, how do I phrase this? The size of this portion of the article. There we go. There's only a couple of points. Now, they do mention here that most games are played with 2 players on average, which isn't surprising. That's kind of, just what EASHL is. Obviously, it's going to be a lot easier to have 2 people or 3 people than 5 or 6. So I guess that's not all that surprising. Though EA would like to add the feature in the future, you cannot carry over your stadium jerseys or banners from NHL 17. It would be pretty damn cool to have a legacy feature with EASHL, especially too with the banners, because my God, some teams' arenas would just be ridiculous with the amount of banners in the rafters. It'd look like Montreal or Detroit, and that would be a really cool visual, especially too if you could add, eventually it would probably get to the point where it'd be like league title X11, X12, however many times you win the title, but that would be a really cool feature. It does suck to lose your stadium progress, but I do like that progression system, and the jerseys, it's really not a big deal. I'm not all that surprised, and it at least gives you something to grind out at the start of the game. They're not expecting any new player classes. I'm not really surprised at that. And one new equipment option is the mouth guards, which we already knew about. And of course, people are going to be like, oh, that's so dumb. But whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to complain. It is cool, though, that you can unlock new 3s arenas through EASHL progression. Be a pro. 5 points. Sorry, people who enjoy Be a Pro. And sorry to people who might want to see me, have a Be a Pro series in the next game, because, man, I'm not sure. Now, we knew it wasn't going to be a story mode, and I mentioned that in the feature list breakdown. Next year, though, would be nice. The trade requests have returned, which is good. New coaching proficiencies around the revamped Deeks and skill stick. That's fine. They played around with the call-up send-down logic, which is good because a lot of people have complained about that as well. Given the attention EA paid to puck support and player positioning, expect your teammates to be more effective this year. There aren't any major overhauls. There isn't a major overhaul with Be a Pro. It's going to be more of the same for the most part, which for me, as I begin to lose my voice, and I'm sorry. Again, I don't typically record during the day. It is hot as hell in this room. But no major changes to Be a Pro, unfortunately. I can't say I'm all that happy about that. I would have liked to have seen a few more things. Like Madden and FIFA before it, NHL 18 brings solo challenges into Ultimate Team that lets you complete objectives for currency and unique rewards. I'm excited about that. Synergies are back, but a new approach in NHL 18. I haven't heard any information about that. I might have to poke around with some certain YouTubers or people in the know to try and get some information on that. I wouldn't be able to share it with you, but damn it, I'm intrigued. And sets are back. They want more master items, which is fine. No changes coming to the auction house, which, oh boy. Oh boy. Now, and of course they mentioned like a returning user bonus, which is fine. No major changes to the auction house is pretty disappointing. I was hoping for not a major overhaul to the, to the UI and to the menu system itself. I'm not surprised that there isn't. Again, I will mention FIFA until the day that I die, and the way that they have the system set up, it's perfect. The way that they do that, it's unfortunate that they're not, the NHL kind of isn't borrowing from that. Everybody knows that the auction house system isn't tremendous. It gets the job done, so a little bit disappointing there. Guys, overall, there is some solid information here, but for me, it's the first point in the article. This steals the show. I cannot wait for NHL 18 for that fact alone. But guys, let me know what you think of the information we have here. Again, the link to the article will be down in the description below so that you can go through all 60 points yourself. But let me know what you think about all the information that we have here. If you didn't check out those videos already, make sure to go back and check down my full breakdown of the trailer and the feature list. And stay tuned. Make sure subscribe if you haven't already, damn it. Trying to get to 5K. It's taking longer than I wanted. I wanted to be there by now. The goal was by the launch of NHL 18. I still have like 2.5 months to do it. But damn it, we're only like 300 people away. Let's go. Start subscribing to make sure that you don't miss a video as we continue to track NHL 18 news up until release day. Guys, I hope you did enjoy this spur of the moment video. I'll catch you guys later.